Yo, 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 yo. What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are having a wonderful April 1st or whatever date it is in your space-time continuum. It's going to be a good morning. My traditional burn myself with my own coffee. Anyways, first of all, we're on episode, 70. We have been doing this for 7 uninterrupted consecutive business days. And boy, has it been fun so far. And I love doing this whole live thing. Anyways, whatever. No more sentimental soapbox. So today is going to be one of those days of kind of like, I just got to do what I got to do type of things. I had planned on working on the Mistborn back design and finishing it, but I have to put that down this morning and work on. Let me play some music right quick. I have to put that down for this morning, and I have to pick something else up because just a little bit of backstory. Those really super sweet book boxes that we have been developing for our Gilded editions. And you may have seen some of those, some of the ones that we got back, and I may have posted them. I can't remember. I may have showed them on the YouTube Live as well. Well, those, first of all, those new book boxes that Make Playing Cards is making for us, and that they developed that new box design specifically for us. They are awesome, and they're exactly what I want, and they came out exactly like I wanted them. With one caveat, the book box was a little bit too, like the size, the overall width and length dimensions are perfect, and it fits a deck perfectly. However, because of my foil laminated decks, the cards are a little bit thicker than normal. And don't start with, oh, your foil laminated cards are way too thick. They make my poor hands hurt so bad, because that's what everybody says. I know they're too thick because we put foil on them, laminate foil on both sides. But you know what? We've already developed a thinner paper stock, and we use that thinner paper stock on the table players. It's called the Cardista stock from Expert Playing Card Company, and we're going to start using that new thinner paper stock with the foil lamination so that the foil laminated decks are the same size and thickness as a regular deck of cards. So all of the people out there that are weaklings and gripe about their hands hurting because the cards are too thick, I'm making fun of people right now, but I'm not really being malicious, but kind of. More sarcastic than anything. That problem should be solved, and our foil laminated decks should be the same thickness as a regular deck. But that doesn't mean that I have a bunch of very cornerstone decks that we already have, like all 3 Federal 52 Federal 52 Gold Certificate and Silver Certificate. We've already made those, and they're already with the thicker paper stock. And the box that we have is a little bit, it's like basically exactly the same depth as those thicker foil laminated decks. and the lid of the box just does not close like I want it to, because I want it to be where when the lid comes down, it catches and gets grabbed by the magnet. It goes snap, because it just feels good and it makes it feel like it's made right. And I'm going to print a lot of these book boxes over the years and in the future, and I want this box to be perfect before I start making them. And so I sent them a Lego Tender deck and a Robin Hood deck just for sizing, and then they made the alterations exactly to fit. I think I may have some pictures. Let's see here. And they made the alterations exactly to fit the let me share my screen here. And they made the alterations to fit perfectly those thicker decks. So you can see that it fits perfectly the size, the width, and the length. And here's another picture. So you can see that it fits perfectly our thicker decks, and it still gives it enough room. There's another one. And it gives it enough room that the lid, when you close it, it doesn't get pressed by the deck, and it snaps closed, and it gives you that satisfaction of the lid going whack and snapping closed. So what we have to do today is, it could either be a very easy day. It's going to be kind of like busy work type stuff, but it's either going to be a good day or it's going to be a sucky day, because I have to take all of the book box designs, the Federal 52 Gold Certificate, Silver Certificate, White Reserve Note, Black Reserve Note, and Peter Pan and Wizard of Oz. I have to take all of those book box designs that I've worked on and basic and finished, and I have to alter them, kind of Frankenstein and alter them just a little bit by like a millimeter in the thickness to make them fit this new template. And the reason why it could be either easy or sucky is, if it's easy, it'll be easy if I can do that relatively easy without too much work. It's gonna suck if I have to do a lot of like dissection, and to make it change. So so that is that is where we are today, and that's what we're gonna do. So the first one we're gonna do is, and also I designed all of those book boxes ahead of time so that I could save money on shipping, because it's really expensive, and so they can make all of the book boxes. Even though we're behind on the gilded editions like we usually are of the Federal 52 and Gold Certificate, the great thing about it is because we're going to make all of those book boxes: Gold Certificate, Silver Certificate, Gold Certificate, Federal 52, Peter Pan, Wizard of Oz, Black Reserve Note, White Reserve Note. We're going to make all those boxes at once, and we're going to get those at once. And so, yes, we're late on Gold Certificate and the Federal 52, but the great thing about it is we've already been delivered the Silver Certificate Gilded decks, and so we're actually going to be able to be on time with the Silver Certificate decks and Wizard of Oz and Peter Pan. So the wait for it is going to be a payoff, I hope. But that's the hope. Let's see. What does Nate ask? I frequently hear that Legends and Expert are almost the same company, or at least share the manufacturing facility. Is this true? Does Expert offer same stock finishes and share advances? The first part of your question, are Legends and Expert the same company? That is not the case. I've never even worked with Legends. However, Legends and Expert do use some of the same factories. They use different factories. There's a factory in Taiwan. There's a factory in mainland China. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know because I don't know much about Legends. They, for the most part, use the factory in Taiwan. I basically exclusively use, at least for my recent decks, I exclusively use the factory in mainland China because for me, they're the ones that can do the crazy experimental stuff that I want to do. And they, in terms of finishes and stock, yeah, they probably have the same, they probably share the same type of stock and finishes. They probably call them different names, but they're not the same company, but they share the same factory and stuff like that. Okay, so the first one we're going to do is the Federal 52 because that's the one that is the most delinquent in timing. Let's see here. What was I doing? Oh yeah, that's right. The Federal 52. Okay, Fed 52. Book boxes. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to take this layer. First of all, I need to check the resolution. This is 20 by 18 by 300 dpi. This new one is 20 by 18. That's a good sign. Doesn't mean it's going to fit, but all right, let me see here. I'm going to first rotate the canvas counterclockwise 180 degrees. So this is kind of the moment of truth, is how well this is going to fit. So I'm going to take this section, copy and paste it, and then I'm going to bring it over here. We're going to line it up horizontally. That's good. All right, so doesn't look that bad actually. This may not take us long at all. So as you can see, this die line, our artwork goes past the die line a little bit, which that's okay. We're gonna have to shrink it a little bit. And then right here, our kind of like area that gets lighter because of it's the bend of the corner of the book. It's not quite there centered, but that's okay. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to line up this top edge right here. There we go. Got that lined up. Let me see if it's lined up here. So what we're going to have to do now is we've got this corner lined up. Let's go up just a little bit. Right about there. We got this corner lined up. Now, you see how this corner's off. So what we want to do is we just want to stretch it ever so slightly. Now, you can get away with stretching stuff a little bit. But if you go stretching it way too much, it's obviously going to distort your image and make it not look right. So now I'm going to squeeze it a little bit as well. All right, so now we've got the size. We've got the size correct. It's in there. I'm actually going to bring it this way. Just a skosh. Skosh is a technical word for a little bit. Okay, so everything's good. Everything in terms of the size is correct. However, basically this white area needs to be stretched out just a little bit. And so what I'm going to do, this is kind of the surgery part that I was talking about, that I don't always like doing, but it must be done. So I'm going to do is I'm going to take this section here. I'm going to feather my selection by 3. And I'm going to copy. I'm going to paste. So now I've got that spine on its own layer. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch it by itself. And what I'm looking for is these things in the middle are basically squares. And so what I want to do is squeeze, because we stretch the overall width. You can see how that these are no longer squares. They're a little bit more, they're wider than they are long. And so inside of this, I want to take these, I want to select these. I want to select all 4 of these little emblems. Okay. And I want to feather my selection by 3. I want to copy and paste those. And so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to scale. So I just have these emblems now. I'm going to scale those back to being squares. All right. Fix that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stretch this just ever so slightly, just like that, to make these kind of lighter areas line up with the spine. Boom. Okay, so that's good. That is hopeful. That seems like it's going to make today an easy day. Let me see here. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm not going to do on this one, but if you see this little scratch right here, this scratch right here, this diagonal scratch, and this scratch right here, I noticed on the prototypes that we made. I noticed on the prototypes that we made that those scratches are the same on all 3 of the decks. And I want to make sure to change that. To change those scratches between each of the decks, because it doesn't look as nice. It makes it look like I've just repeated the texture, because then that's what I did. That's what I did. But if I change those scratches a little bit between each book box, it'll make each of those book boxes seem unique when they're really not. Because I'm going to fake all you people out with my black magic of art. Okay, so that's that. Now, let's fix this plate. So we're going to go in here, this inner cover plate. All right. So we're going to center this up. That's probably the same. It looks like it's exactly the same. Yes. That's good news. Okay, I'm just making sure everything's lined up. Okay, that's easy. That's done. Now we're going to fix this, reposition this, the outside of the inner tray. What I'm looking for is this bottom. This bottom little add copy section. I want to make sure that that's centered up. All right, looks good. That all is lined up like we want. One thing I did notice is this texture here is butterflied, and it looks butterflied, and so I'm just going to change it up right here, just like that. Just enough where it doesn't butterfly. All right, there we go. All right, there's that. I'm feeling good. That's good. It's looking like this is going to be much easier than I was expecting. And I say much easier than I was expecting because I've done this type of thing before where it has not gone well. And it could not go well on some of the other boxes. I don't know. We're going to find out real quick. Okay. Excuse me. All right. So I think we're good. And then this one right here, this part of the template is just the cardboard that's inside the book box. And then this little dotted line is, it shows you the placement of the magnet of the box. And then I'm going to put a red arrow. I'm going to put a red arrow going like this to show them the top of the book. Okay. Great start. Great start. All right, so I'm going to make sure everything is correct. I'm going to merge all of these layers, and we will name that layer CMYK. So we got the die line and the CMYK. We're good to go. I'm going to save this, and we're going to go to Federal 52, book box, and then updated book boxes. And then we're going to call this Fed 52 book box. Okay. One down, 732 to go. So what we're going to do is we're going to delete this. Well, I don't want to delete the arrow. I can keep that. Okay, now let us close that. Let's open up the gold certificate. I think this is it. Okay. I want to rotate counterclockwise. This is not the final one because it doesn't have the bottom. Let me see. Which one was I missing? Oh, it's this one. Open, gold, silver. Rotate canvas. Okay. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is copy the CMYK layer and paste. And just do the same thing over again. And what I should have done Well, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it to each one because I'm going to do those same processes again to each one because each one might be slightly different. So I'm going to line one corner up. I want to shrink this just a little bit. Come down with it. Check that. Okay, check the width, good. Let's pull this in a little bit. Right about there. Looks good. Too early. That looks good. All right, we're going to take our center section here. Go to feather our selection by 5 or 3. Copy, paste. Now I'm going to take my center squares. I'm going to copy, paste. Oops. I want to feather the selection first. Select feather, modify feather. Copy, paste. I want to squeeze those just a little bit. I'm going to make that layer red or yellow because I can reuse that layer. Now I'm going to stretch the spine a little bit right there. And like I was saying before, I want to take these scratches and make them a little bit different. Let me put on my power glove right quick. My power glove of majesty that grants me all of my autistic powers. Okay. So I'm just going to go in here and paint out this scratch as well as this one. And I'm going to add some new scratches. I know it's a very little detail, but it will make a difference. Or at least I will see it, and nobody else will. But you can look at it and go, I remember the day that Jackson painted those scratches on the back of the book box. Okay. You got that lined up. right, that looks good. Okay, looks like that's it. Let me merge these. Call it CMYK. Save as. I'm going to call this Gold Cert Book Box. Okay, I'm going to delete all the stuff except a little, well, delete the scratches. Okay, I'm going to delete everything except those squares that we're going to use again. Silver certificate, 2 down. I'm feeling good. It's going to be, I think it's the sunrise looks bright and beautiful, I think. So I think it's going to be much easier than I was expecting. All right. Let's take this layer. Paste. All right, let's line this one up. Okay, looks good. Let's take our center section. I mean, I honestly could probably get away with not even doing anything to it, but okay. Looks good. Put our things back. Now let's fix our scratches. Let's make our new scratches. Let's just put 1 on this one right here. Let's section. Okay. I'm just going to stretch this just a little bit because the obsessive compulsive in me doesn't want, I want it to go all the way past the die line. And you won't even see that stuff because it'll be wrapped underneath the other one. But it's the principle of the matter that matters. Okay, that's good. Let's save these or merge them. CMYK, save as. This is the silver cert box. All right. Let's do the white. Let's do Wizard of Oz because it's next chronologically. All right. Well, let's go ahead and do the white reserve note and black reserve just because they're right here. Okay. I need to down-res this. These book boxes ship by air just because we don't have that many of them. But my playing cards ship by sea just because air freighting 5,000-10,000 decks would cost a fortune. As I found out last year. I didn't air freight all of my decks, but because of the COVID manufacturing delays, because of all the COVID manufacturing delays, we had to just air freight at least like 1,500 decks of each project, just because we were trying to make the deadline of not being late. And I think that I spent geez, I want to say like $40,000 just on air freight costs last year. So I try to ship everything by sea if I can. Copy. Paste. Yeah, not only the port delays unpredictable, but the shipping companies have unfortunately taken advantage, unfortunately for me and other people that use them, have taken advantage, and I'm not, I'm not dinging them for it, because I am a full believer in capitalism. They have taken advantage of the demand for shipping, and they have drastically reduced the number of cargo ships that are on the waters right now. So it just makes the demand higher, so it makes shipping costs higher, and they're getting it, and it's more cost effective for them to use less ships, and on top of that, they're making more money. So it's kind of the reality that we are in now, post COVID-19. But you know what? Who cares? It's just what you got to do. They can't eat you. Just keep going. Uh. What? 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 Seeing again a little artifacting right here. And I'll probably need to go back and check to make sure that we're not getting that artifacting on the other side as well. Jackson, you were once mentioning you possibly were thinking about getting your own gilding machine, or is that a highly specialized equipment? It is highly specialized equipment. And yes, I am. We have been debating for quite some time now getting our own gilding machine. It's just a extremely expensive piece of machinery. It's actually two machines that work in tandem, but it's extremely expensive. And we just want to make sure that it's the right thing for us, because it cost about 250 grand for the machine. I'm not sure we're quite ready for that yet. We are buying us a automatic cellophaning machine that we're really excited about, that should take our cellophaning capabilities from about, I would say on a good day, we could cellophane 500 decks in a day. And that's somebody sitting at the cellophaning machine doing it manually. 500 decks a day. The new cellophane machine could do 50 decks, 40 to 50 decks a minute. So basically we could go from cellophaning 500 decks a day to cellophaning 30,000. I don't know, a lot more. Okay, CMYK. Let me just look over that, make sure. Yeah, the ones we're looking at are under 20,000 for sure. And they're looking really nice. We're actually, the company that we're working with the cellophaning machine they also have a cartoning machine, and a cartoning machine is a machine that, I could probably show it to you. Let me see here. See. This is the cellophane machine that we're looking at right here. That's the cellophane machine right there. So the decks, we'd put the decks into here on the conveyor belt, straight into here like that. It's a really nice machine. I think I got a video of it working. They didn't do a very good job of shooting me the video for me, because you can't really see that the cartons. It's like, I don't know. The gilding machine is definitely not fully automated. The gilding is still something you've got to do. Here's the cellophane machine right here. So the decks come in from over here. These are like perfume boxes or something like that. The decks come in from over here, and these are all the things that do the heat treatment and all that kind of stuff, and they get pushed through here. There are fully automated gilding machines, but the non-automated machines are $250,000. So you can imagine what the fully automated are. So there you go. So they come in, you can kind of see the cartons going through right there. See if I got the cartoning machine is a little bit different. I think I have a video of that as well. Let me see. Oh, I don't have that on my email. I just have that on my chat program. Well, here's the thing, Nate. Gilding is a magical unicorn. And I say that through many, many trial and errors. You can buy a cheap gilding machine. But the cards that we make with the foil lamination, I have tried multiple different factories and people and vendors to try to gild those foil laminated decks. And the only people that I've been able to find that can do them are the one gilding house that we've been using for a long time. Yes, you can buy much cheaper gilding machines, but gilding is a funny beast. It either is really good or really bad. And what I've found is, I know the place that we use for our gilding, they're the only people that we've been able to find that can gild our foil laminated decks, like the Federal 52 and the gold certificate and that kind of thing. And so I was like, okay, if they can gild them, if they're the only people that can gild them, then I need to get the machines that they use. And so, the machines that I'm pricing out are the same exact machines that they use. So yes, you can buy a much cheaper machine, but I'm just going from experience and predictability of being able to actually gild the decks that we need to be gilding. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's just where I'm coming from. But the other thing about it is like cellophaning, a cellophaning machine and a cartoning machine, the cost is lower, and we don't see that much return on investment with the cellophaning and cartoning machine. What it does is indirectly we don't see the specific cost returns. We see it mainly frees up man hours for my guys to do something else. And the guys that work for me are way sharper. I want them to do other things like developing new products and new businesses instead of sitting there at a table cellophaning. And so their time is much more useful to me if they're developing other businesses that we're developing and developing new products that we're developing rather than sitting there and cellophaning. So there is that cost rewards, but the ROI, the return on investment for gilded decks is very high, because even though it's very, very expensive production wise, like we'll spend more money on the gilding per deck than we do on the actual production of that entire deck. So it'll cost us more to gild it than it does to make it. But at the same time, the profit margin for gilded decks is higher as well. So the ROI for that gilding machine is much higher. And if we can gild decks just as good as who I think is the best right now, if we can do that to the same level, then we can start competing with that other company and becoming and start gilding other people's decks and do it in a way that it's not like, oh, we're just like this printing house that does all kinds of stuff, business cards, invitations, and we also gild. Like, we're going to be a playing card company that all we do is playing cards. And so it'll be kind of like we'll be coming at it with I feel like a competitive, they have the competitive advantage with the experience, but we'll have the competitive advantage of having like the mentality and mindset of a playing card collector, so that we can, the quality that we put out could be up to that kind of standard. All right, let's see here. Did I finish this one? Looks like I did. Okay. All right, let me save. White reserve note. Okay. Let's do the black reserve note. Super excited about this black reserve note box. It's dope. Super dope. Oops. Image size. Now this one's a little bit different because these pages of the Declaration of Independence are situated based on the orientation of the pages. We may have to do a little bit more work on this one to make it happen. So I'm not going to merge all these. I'm just going to group them. I'm going to go to image size. Take it down to 300. Excuse me. I don't know if you'll ever notice this, but in the Declaration they have like corrections. Like, look right here, where it has a little correction where it says only. Only. I don't know if you've ever noticed that. At least this copy of the Declaration does. I think this is the main one. Okay. Take this, pull it. Okay. So I'm going to line these up. Okay. Looking good. Okay, that's good. It's all, yeah, that's all one layer. We're going to take this, put it in the center. I'm glad I looked at this because this drop shadow is like a green color. I don't want that green color in there. I want it to be like a gray. Okay, got that. Yeah, because just as a business, one of the things that we want to do is I don't want to, I don't want to, I feel like that we have experience, and I feel like we do a pretty good job of making playing cards. And one of the things we want to do as a business, one of the things we've thought about as a business, developing our business, is simply, taking our experience and our expertise with making really nice, what hopefully I think is really nice playing cards, and transferring that into making really nice decks of playing cards for other people, like producing and other people's playing cards. And so that's one thing that we want to try to do. And I think a part of that is, having more capabilities when it comes to like gilding and cellophaning and cartoning. So that's something that we're hoping and wanting to do for the future. See, Nate asks, once your Gadsden flag decks run out, do you have a next step for them? I see there are very few left in stock. It's a good question. We actually have, I think, 600 of those decks that we just don't have tucks for. That when we ordered the tuck cases, we ordered what we needed, but always when you're printing with the United States Playing Card Company, which is good, I think, they always print extra, and there's always an overage, and at the end they offer you to buy the overage decks at a cheaper price, and of course I always say yes, because why would I not do that? And then so we have about 600 more decks than we have tuck cases. And so I actually just put in the order yesterday with Clove Street Press to reprint more of the standard tuck cases. All right, this is a little bit different because we've got this eye in the middle. Yes, they will be magnetic boxes. My good friend Alex. They will be magnetic book boxes. Okay, all that looks good. Let me save that. All right, I'm gonna open these all back up right quick just to give another look at them. See if I might have missed anything. I'm gonna turn off the die line. That looks good. Turn the die line back on. Good, good, good. That looks good. Turn the die line off. Looks good. 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 I hope you're getting ready for your work day, Chris. Cause you about to be put to work, Chris. Okay. That looks good. Looks good. Okay. Turn off the die line. Good, good, good. Looking good. Okay. Gold cert, check. Feds. Okay. Turn the dial line off. Yep. 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 Boom. And black reserve note. See, Nate. Turn the dial line off. Looks good. Oh, see? Looking good. Looking good. Actually, yeah, that's good. Okay. Okay. I don't want to delete it. All right. Let's open up the Wizard of Oz book box. Okay, Wizard of Oz. And where are you guys at? I'm just gonna let you know these new book boxes that I've got here. I love them so much. They are awesome. And because the Federal 52, starting with the Federal 52, which was February's deck, on for the rest of the year, are all going to be this book box. That means we have one book box, the Sherlock Holmes book box, that's different. So you can rest assured that later on this year, I will be releasing either another Sherlock Holmes edition that has a new Sherlock Holmes book box, and I'll probably do or in both. But you can be rest assured that I will be designing and releasing a Sherlock Holmes book box on this new book box design, so that if you have all 12 book boxes, they will all match perfectly and fit together. And also because we're going to make a sweet slip case, a wooden slip case at the end of the year for all the book boxes. Come on, I mean, why wouldn't we do that? Okay, let's find the Wizard of Oz book box. Where did I save that? Where did I save that? Design, card base. Where'd I put it? Here it is, book box. Yes, we'll most likely have nothing to hide from Sir Chris O'Neill, and he'll be able to post pics all he wants. Okay, here is the Wizard of Oz book box. Let's go ahead and res it down to the appropriate resolution. Okay, I'm going to group that. I'm going to pull these over. Actually looks pretty good. need to fix this right here. Well, that doesn't really matter that much. I mean, I just need to pull it over just a little bit. It's not too bad. I need to move this now. Do I have that layer locked? Yep, I have those layers locked. Fix that artifacting a little bit. Okay. Just fix this artifacting right here. I just realized that the this Wizard of Oz book does not have a like add copy at the bottom. Okay. Bro, Chris, I hope you're ready, man. This is going to be fun. We've got the bourbon shelf ready. We've got my own brewed King's Wild mead at the office. It's a surprise we get anything done. Let's see here. That looks good. Let me turn the dial line off. That looks good. Man, I really like this book box. This is going to be awesome. Okay. We're going to merge this group. All right, save as. We're going to go. I have coffee for you. We have a freshly roasted batch of Ethiopian coffee that you will go home with. That's what I'm drinking right now. Steven came over and roasted yesterday. Okay, Wizard of Oz. Okay, this will be Wizard of Oz. Of Oz book box. Final. Okay, we're doing good. Got one more. Gotta stretch. All right, let's open up Peter Pan. Man, this is, I forgot how cool this one was. This is an awesome box. This was so cool. All right. All right, let me down-res it a little bit here. I'm gonna stand up, stretch my legs. Ugh. All right. I'm going to see if I can get away with just merging it. We'll see if the editing and alteration gods are favorable this morning. Okay. Paste. First of all, I'm going to get rid of all this. Look how I have it on the other one. It's just kind of right in the middle. Okay. Noted. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Gonna edit some pics. All right. That looks good. Looks like a little bit of editing right here. Because of the way this is kind of constructed, I've got this rivet here that's too close. I'm going to try to come in right here in this open spot. Nope. Yeah, I might be able to do it. The problem right there is I've got the plate. That's okay. I can erase that. So I'm going to feather this selection by 3. Copy, paste, and then I'm going to stretch this out just a little bit. Wait a minute. Do I want to do that? Actually, I think it's okay. Well, okay. Okay. Looks like it's not going to be as easy as I had hoped, but that's, you know what? That's okay. I have dealt with a lot worse in my life. What I'm going to do is I'm going to group all of this. Come back here, delete this. Take this group, throw it over here. Ethiopian beans, my good friend Griffin, are my bean of choice. We make two varieties. We make Guatemalan and Ethiopian. Well, I should say it's not so much my bean of choice, which it is my bean of choice. I think it's my favorite of the two. What matters is that it's my wife's favorite, and she's the one that matters. All right, let me see if I can get all this in one group. I must have the background layers locked. All right, what is it that's in this layer group that's making it like this? Okay, layer 2. All right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this rivet layer, because what I was noticing before was the rivets were distorting. So I'm gonna put them on top, and I'm gonna merge this layer. Now I've got the rivets on their own layer. And the reason why I put the rivets on their own layer is because the rivets were circular, and if I stretch anything, circular things become ovals, and you don't want that, because then you can tell you stretched it. So I'm going to paste this, and then get this lined up where you want. Now, I'll do the same thing before. Take this piece, feather the selection, copy, paste. Going to expand that, and I'm looking at these white kind of edge lines. That's what I want to line up with the die line. Like that. Now what I'm going to do is come in here and gingerly, hopefully, erase this section here to reveal the plate. Just like that. Looking good. Let me turn this die line off just to check. Actually can squeeze it back just a little bit. Okay, looks good. Okay, let's turn our rivets back on. Now I can place the rivets where they need to be. Okay, looks like these three and these need to be moved over to there. And these three and these three. And I can move, let's see. These two have a little bit more breathing room now, so I can move them over. I'm also realizing now that the inner side does not have any rivets, so I'm glad we looked at it. All right, that looks good. Okay, let's go see this other stuff here. Now I have already merged all this stuff, so I may have to redo it. Let's see. I don't think so, though. It looks as if it's going to work. All right, looks good. This part will be behind. I guess I could pull out a little bit. Okay, looking good. All right, looks good. All right, that looks good. Need to come this way a little bit, not much. Okay, just gonna stretch this out a little bit. All right, I think that's good. Just take a look at it here. Good, good. Let's turn the dial line off. Go ahead and merge all this stuff. Okay, turn the dial line off. Everything looks good. Okay, call this CMYK, save as. Man. Peter Pan. Peter Book Box Final. Peter Pan Book Box Final. Awesome. There we go. Done. Done what we needed here. Let me take a drink of coffee. Okay. Let's open up Mistborn here. Give me some tunes. Okay. Let me check. I think it was. Not gonna hurt us to check. Yeah, it's right there. Signed by Jackson Robinson, distributed by Kingswell Project. Cards printed. Blah, 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 blah. Yes. Thanks for asking, though. All right. So where we left off yesterday on this was I was putting on the white highlight layer on everything. Turn my symmetry off. What's up, Ivan? Okay, looks like I've done all the ones on the top side. Yes, I have. Okay, I'm gonna flip it over. Do the bottom side ones now. Thank you, Ivan. I appreciate that. It's definitely what we're going for. We're going for everything that's white. Well, everything that's like this light bone color or stone color is actually going to have silver foil underneath, so it's going to look like metal, like steel or something. And everything that's blue is going to be like a matte blue leather, which is going to be the same leather that is on the book box or the tuck case. And I'll just take a quick break to show people that may have not seen the some of the court cards, the progression of the court cards. So I'll do just a quick. The Mistborn book is, the whole magic system is based on different metals, and that's what the runes are on the back of this back design. All these runes with the different runes for each of the metals. And I've broken up the suits into metals. So you've got steel for the spades. You've got gold for the hearts. You've got diamonds. Well, you've got copper for diamonds. And then you've got aluminum for clubs. And everything inside this frame on all these cards will have foil underneath. And so each one of these squares will look like a different metal. And then here's what the court cards. And so the court cards of each suit are colorized to be that. So like the spades is steel. Here's the king of spades, Rashek, or the Lord Ruler. Kind of colorized that steel gray. And so he'll be matte, and then all the steel behind him will be reflective metallic. I mean, the metallic foil. So there's the king of spades. Here's the jack of spades, the Koloss. And he's so big he covers up his name. I think it's awesome. There's the Koloss, the queen of spades, one of the steel inquisitors. Then you've got the hearts. Here's the king of hearts, Kelsier. This is gold behind him, and he's kind of colorized a brown color. There's Kelsier. Here's Mar. And Marsh. And this is a cool character because in the beginning of the book, he is basically a human. And then throughout the story, spoiler alert, he becomes a Steel Inquisitor. And so he's half-half on his card. And then we've got diamonds. There's his character's name is Sazed, and this is copper. And then Tinsoon, which is it's a anthropomorphic beast. And I don't have any clubs yet. We're finishing those up. So that just gives you some progression shots of the court cards. More warning on the spoiler alerts. Well, I guess the whole deck is a spoiler alert, so I'm sorry. Yeah, if all goes well, and Brandon Sanderson and his group is really liking what we're doing, if all goes well, they're going to let me continue my license. And this is just one deck after the first book, and I think there's like 8 or 9 books in the series. So then there's like a steampunk, like a novel. There's like novelettes that are like there's like some steampunk versions. I mean, there's just endless material to do. Uh, so far, um, I have had the fortunate. I've been able to have full creative control to the extent that everything that I'm doing is correct based on the books and all that kind of stuff. Like I can't make up new stuff. But as long as I'm kind of getting the, the details right in terms of artistic liberty, have had the very fortunate experience to have full creative control. And that's the same with it was like that with Sherlock Holmes in the beginning when I had to license it, and then the same with Lord of the Rings and Mistborn. So okay. I've done all the white highlights. Now what I'm going to do is go back and blend them in. The God Metal Jokers are going to be awesome. Um, Greg is doing. There's actually 3 Jokers in the deck. Hoyd is one of the Jokers, and then Ruin, the Gods, or whatever you want to call them, the Gods, Ruin and Preservation are going to be a diptych Joker together. So it should be pretty epic. I like this band a lot. They're good. Let's see. I'm just going to play them from the top again. I really like them. I'm going to go back and do the framework later after I get the runes done. Okay, I'm gonna start doing the frame. And for some reason, it doesn't let me do. I guess it can't process it or something. It doesn't let me do this smudging with symmetry on, so it's kind of a bummer. Sí, fácil. More tunes here. What I might actually could do is just do 1/4 and then just duplicate it over. That way that they're all the same. And I get a little bit more symmetry. I know that it's one way back, but maybe I can get some symmetry on the framework part. And I can do 1/4 of the work. to do is I'm going to take this layer, I'm going to duplicate it, and then I'm going to select around each of the runes. This is me being lazy and not, well, it's not being lazy. I'm just going to duplicate the blending that I did on the framework over. But I need to take out the runes first because they are not symmetrical. Alright, so if this works correctly, I should be able to take this quadrant right here. I'm going to feather the selection by 2, I guess. I'm going to duplicate it, trash the other one. Alright, so now what I should be able to do is go in here, duplicate, and then flip. Okay. And then take these two, merge them. Duplicate them. And then flip them horizontally. Vertically. Just like that. Merge. Now I got the blended white layer on there, which is good. Just make sure it's all one layer. Save. Excuse me. I'll be right back. I have to go to the lavatory. Okay, now what we're going to do, we've got the majority of the work done. We are now going to put start putting the finishing touches on it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the top. And I'm going to create a new layer, put it on multiply. And I think it's going to be a little bit like this, maybe a little bit darker. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to go over the top of it and I'm just going to kind of draw a really faint, just some faint line work on top. And this will just help everything pop a little bit in the end. I'm not going to do it everywhere. I'm going to be selective about it. So if you look at that one rune we just did, if I zoom out a little bit, so you can look at it right here, and I'll turn it on and off. It just makes the shape. I'm going to turn that line work layer off. It just makes the shapes come out, and it also kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? It kind of draws in these more detailed shapes right here. I'm going to do the runes first. music go? Come on, guys. Looking good. Let's keep on trucking. Do some line work today. Jeez, who put all these runes on here? Ugh. I'm gonna be here for days. Looking pretty good. Add some more to this. Okay. Let's do these other two, and we'll do these other two on the top, and I think we'll be done. Let me look at what's going on here, what we've done. See if we've screwed up anything. Yeah, it looks really good. So if you look at the runes themselves, that's what we've done. The kind of the little last pop of line work. I'm gonna turn it on and off, and you can see how the difference it makes. There's off, on, off, on. Yeah, it makes a huge difference. Huge difference, and it's gonna make even more of a difference when we start doing the outside, the stuff that's not the runes. Okay, let me see. All right. I think that's it for me today. Pretty beat. I gotta send off all those BookBox art files. Well, I might as well open them up right now. I gotta make sure Katie gives the old sinner sign off here. Here is the Peter Pan book box. There's the outside. There's the inner flap cover. There's the tray outside and then the tray inside. I know I'm not giving you that long of a look, Katie, but that's what we got. What we should do is make sure and open up the Wizard of Oz. So here's the Wizard of Oz book box. Whew, man, I'm tired. Here's the outside here. Oh, of course you see my face because I'm silly. I'm a silly Billy. I'm sorry. Just relax. Oh, blah, blah, blah. So there is the Wizard of Oz, the outside, the inside. There's the tray. Oops, that's not it. Cancel. Here is the Peter Pan again. The outside. The inner flap. The tray outside. And the tray inside. Okay. That's all everybody gets. Because I gotta send those emails out. I gotta send the art files out to make playing cards, to make all the books. It's gonna be dope. And then I gotta get ready for the day because we got a big day today. Got a big release today. 12 p.m. Eastern Time. A big release today on April 1st, 2021. Hope you guys are ready for it. It is absolutely 100% no joke. And we're doing it. And you better be ready. I saw something about there on the old Chisel Chattel that Use Finds People's seem to think my Twitter account has been hacked because I'm sending you guys Ray-Ban ads. That sounds pretty awesome. I like Ray-Bans. Let me see here. Let me check it out. Hope you guys have a great day on this good Thursday. I'm gonna see if I didn't even have Twitter installed at the moment. Hope you guys have a good day. And let me see here. Okay, I'm gonna open this up. Log in. I don't want to create an account. I just want to log in. Yep. Log in. Let me see. Okay. I forgot how to even use it. Home. How do I even see my own tweets? I don't even know. Let's see. Lists. I don't even know how do I even see my own tweets? I don't know. Oh well, I'll figure it out. All right, people, be ready. Be ready for 12 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be epic. Thanks for joining me. It was a fun day. You guys have a wonderful rest of the day. I'll see you later. Take it easy.